Rumble fans, and welcome back to another episode of Buckshot Thursday here on the Ohio Patriot Education Network, YouTube, and Rumble channels. I'm, as always, your host here, the Ohio Patriot, and for today's episode, we are going to talk about how that fucking scumbag cunt piece of shit Michael Bloomberg stole 6 seats in my General Assembly with his fucking dark money outside of state special interest cash, etc. from Momsman Action members here in Ohio come 2025. So basically, first off, you had at least 2 Democrat state reps illegally break term limits that were set in place over a decade ago to keep in power and become state senators now. And at least one of those 2 is a known anti-gun fuckboy for Bloomberg, being that piece of shit Casey Weinstein, who should have been in prison already at this point for about the last 5 years for hate hosting himself in 2019. And then also, for the same vein of things, just all kinds of anti-gun shit for that matter. Same thing with Beth Listen, who's also stole a seat there in the state Senate here in the last couple of days. Yeah, it's a bunch of fuckery, is what it is. And it even goes back further than that because, like I've said many times now in a row, it's time to enact one county, one rep laws in Ohio. And it shows even more so when you look at the first 11 districts in the state house races all going to Democrats, and I'm pretty sure at least 10 of those all tend to fall in Franklin County, Ohio, which is where Columbus is located at, which is exactly to the point I was trying to make this whole time, which is exactly that we need one county, one rep, so that these Democrat gerrymandering douchebags don't have more fucking seats in the state house with us there, dude. But yeah, as it is right now, the makeup for the upcoming General Assembly, it looks like it's going to be 64 Republicans, 35 Democrats. So it'd be a loss of three house seats on that one. And then it's going to be 10 Democrats and 23 Republicans and 3 loss seats in the state Senate, too, for that matter. We still have technically supermajority in both House and Senate. However, that would also require getting the Republican Party to actually vote together as a unit at that point and be able to have supermajority override powers and stuff like that. Which unfortunately sometimes they do not have that ability because you have pieces of shit like Jason Stevens, who I believe still got in office again this time around. So, and yeah, it's going to be a very contentious thing right now because the way things are looking, it's going to end up being him and Hoffman that are going to be facing off against each other for the speaker's race next year. So, you know, you're definitely going to have a house divide, unfortunately, in that case, I believe. And if we see the same fuckery that goes on between that fucking cunt Allison Russo from last General Assembly and this General Assembly, potentially they're going to have Stephen Steele again, is what it'll be then. So, it's hard to say, though. Which, I've said before, I'll say it again, dude. Like, why the fuck is Allison Russo not in Ohio president right now, dude, is what it is. And that bitch literally took a fucking direct bribe, a big-ass fucking fat envelope full of cash. You could clearly tell it's cashing it, people. Back in 2022, and she still has not been, 2021 even is what it was. When it was 2022, it was 2021 because it was May of 2021 when we were doing stuff for the Constitution Carry that went in place in 2022 is what it was then. So, yeah, it's been like 3 years now, and these fuckers still have not actually done their job to go arrest, even investigate this fucking cunt, let alone arrest her ass for fucking crimes at that point, dude. And it's like, you cannot sit there and honestly tell me that there's not, like, cameras everywhere around that state house where you could have literally just caught her leaving the fucking room there after she took that big-ass fat envelope from the Moms Reaction members, what it was there, put it in her fucking purse, and then her just walking around with the motherfucker into, like, various other places then. Or that be she walked to Maureen O'Connor's office at the time and handed it to O'Connor's people at that point, who the fuck knows. Or whether it be she just walked out of the state house at that point with the fucking cash in her purse, is what it would be then. But even still, like, you could have at least investigated that, honestly. So, not to mention Weinstein's fucking hate hoax of himself back in September 2019 when the motherfucker printed off the tyrant memes through them in his own mailbox and then sold the printer off on a buy-sell trade site a couple days later. That was never investigated either, for that matter, which that guy should be in federal prison right now for misuse of the USPS system is what it is then. So, but instead he's going to be a fucking state senator now is what it's going to be. And it's like, must be nice knowing you can be a piece of shit fucking Democrat and do literally every fucking possible crime there is in our state right now and still remain in office. So, just absolutely fucking disgusting is what it is, dude. I really have fucking had it with these people, honestly. Like, I've had it up to fucking here with these people at this point, man. So, anyway. Let's go ahead and go look over what all happened here when it came to the different House races and Senate races and stuff like that. And then we'll discuss a few other things after that fact. So going to the Ohio state Senate races, you had Teresa Gavarone won as the incumbent, and George Lang won as the incumbent. You had piece of shit Willis Blackfear Jr. win District 6, which that should have totally gone to Charlotte McGuire. Blackspear, I believe, was either, I forget if he was a 1 or 2 term state rep at this point. That flipped over to the state Senate, now is what it is. Lewis Blessing retained office. That piece of shit Kyle Kellner got back into office. He's around a sack of shit. So really, you might as well say it's 11 Democrats and like 22 Republicans, because Kellner is an anti-gun sack of crap is what it is. Susan Manchester won an uncontested race. Terry Johnson got back into office. Piece of shit Beth Liston got into office there. Like I said, she used to be a state senator now. Or sorry, she's a state rep, here's what it is. I believe she's the one that looks like a shark. Yeah, she's the bitch that looks like a shark in the fucking mouth is what it is there. By the way, this woman should also be in prison right now in the state of Ohio for literally child sterilization, because she's a so-called doctor in this state that lets fucking kids do trans surgery shit here, dude. Or at least she did before it got outlawed and stuff like that. But she would like do hormone blockers and stuff for them too, as well as what it was there. So it's like, yeah, her ass needs to be in fucking federal prison right now is what it is, dude, for real. So it's a bunch of shit entirely. I'm seriously going to look into contesting these races at this point using Article 1, Section 2 of the Ohio Constitution and just recalling these fuckers out of office at this point, because I'm not going to let this shit stand as what it is, dude. Anyway, then we got Jerry Serino winning his race as the incumbent. Tim Schaefer won as the incumbent. Mark Romanchek won as the incumbent. Thomas Patton, who jumped from the state house to the state senate, won his race. Bill Reinke, as the incumbent, won his race. And then you had piece of shit Weinstein supposedly win 28. And then you had Brian Alvarez as the incumbent. Brian Chavez was the incumbent. And then Chandra O'Brien was the incumbent there in 32. And yeah, this little fuck stick right here, this little fucking piece of shit right here, a month after I was federally swatted in August 2019, this little fucking asswipe, while he was pushing fucking gun grabs in the form of magazine bans, hate hoaxed himself, literally printed off a bunch of quote-unquote tyrant memes, where it was like talking about killing tyrants and stuff like that, and the memes is what it was, threw them in his fucking mailbox, went on the local media at that point to bitch and moan about it, and was like, somebody's targeting me with these tyrant memes, and then like 2 days later, went on a Facebook buy-sell trade site and fucking sold off the printer he used to fucking print the shit, dude. And none of it was ever investigated. Like, what the fuck, LaRose? What the fuck, Yost? Like, do your fucking jobs and arrest this fucking cocksucker. And kick him the fuck out of our General Assembly once and for all is what it is. By the way, Weinstein's also one of his little dick smokes who wants to be a fake military vet is what it is there. Where he falsely claims military vet status. His bitch ass was actually a lawyer for the fucking military is what it was. Big, huge difference between being a lawyer in a fucking room for the U.S. military, buddy, and being actually frontline fucking infantry in combat, you fucking douchebag, which you never fucking wore, Weinstein, you cockstain. Those don't know why I fucking hate this guy. Oh, you should know by now why I fucking hate this man. Because I fucking, oh my god, bro. Like, not to mention I've had my own issues with Weinstein's wife too, for that matter, because her and I got into it back and forth on Twitter a couple times before, where she went and cucked out for her cuck husband is what it was then. Which makes sense, because her fucking cuck of a husband literally also, at the same time as pulling all this bullshit, it was a couple years after that then, back in, I think it was like 21 or 22, one of those 2 times what it was there, where you had Casey's dumbass supporter base, which was like 20 people or something like that, show up outside of his house randomly. I'm not so sure why they just showed up like that randomly. Like, I don't know if they just like were trying to do something there, what it was, but yeah, they were basically their supporters, dumbass. And he's like, honey, to his wife, call the cops. There's people outside trying to hurt us. And then walked outside like 15 minutes later when the cops were there, and the cops were like, dude, these are your supporters. And he's like, oh, sorry. And then like 2 days later, after all that, went back on the local mainstream media and proceeded to basically lie through his fucking teeth. And we're like, yeah, these people were there trying to hurt my family. And it's like, no, they weren't, you fucking clown. They were literally people that were supporting your dumbass for re-election at the time in the state house. Like, how can you fucking lie like that and still be a state rep anymore? And now a state senator, dude, for that matter. It just blows me away, honestly, dude. And again, none of this would be possible if it wasn't for the fucking scumbaggery bullshit of these assholes keep breaking fucking term limits, dude. Because neither Weinstein nor Liston, or hell, even Patton for that matter, none of the three should have been allowed to jump from the state house to the state senate at that point because they're all turned out at that point, bro. It's like, you fuckers had 8 years in office, dude. Get the fuck out and let somebody else take over now, bitches. End of story. It's that fucking simple. So, anyway. Yeah, I seriously hate Casey so much is what it is, dude. I seriously cannot stand that motherfucker. So, anyway. But moving on to the state house itself then. Which, oh, by the way, we now have a dude named Jack Daniels in the Ohio State House, so that's kind of funny. Yeah, he won his race there is what it was. So I can't help but laugh about that one though. But so anyway, yeah, let's see where we're at now. Probably in the next 5 minutes or so, I'm going to jump to Rumble only is what it is here. As soon as I go through all these. So yeah, you had District 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11 all go for Democrats. So you had Dontavius Giroux won an uncontested race. You had Letitia Humphreys basically do the same thing there because nobody's going to put libertarian or right-in candidates at that point. Ismail Mohammed, who is a literal Somali terrorist in our state house, got reelected again now in an uncontested fucking race. This Burrell Brown Palacino, I think that's her woman's name. Apparently she was, well, I'm not sure who was actually in this house district before that, but she was actually appointed to take over for them when they left for an appointment in, I forget what county it was or whatever there. And then claimed to be the incumbent, which she wasn't the incumbent at all, dude. She was in there for I think 3 months or something before so-called winning a race there in District 4. And then you got Christine Cockley winning in District 5. I think she might be that's District 6. Miranda Lawson Rowe winning an uncontested race there in District 5. So basically what this shows me is you got 1, 2, 3, and then Allison Russo before, as well as Marina Abduli, who's the other Somali terrorist in our state house right now. That's 5 there. All 5 of these fucking races, dude, all 5 of those seats need to be one fucking seat at that point. And the fact I'm pretty sure all 11 of these first 11 here are all in Franklin County. They only be one seat, period. You don't need fucking 11 state reps there. You need fucking 1, dude. End of fucking story. So, anyway, going back there, you got Christine Cockley winning in District 6. I honestly think the only reason that people voted for this woman was because the guy who was running against her was literally named Hassan Jambari. Ain't nobody voting for that fucking dude. Hell, even as a Republican, I probably wouldn't vote for that fucking guy. Because it's your name kind of sounds like a fucking terrorist, dude. Honestly. But yeah, Allison Russo basically won an uncontested race because Susan Miller was a write-in candidate as an independent. Then you got Anina Samani, who should be in prison right now again. Same thing with Beth Liston, because Samani herself is a known fucking child sterilizer. She's done trans surgery. She's done kids, dude, in this fucking state. And it's like, how are you still in fucking office right now, bitch? Is my question. It really is time for us to just start arresting these fucking people out of office ourselves at this point as citizens arrest stuff, dude, because what she's done, I'm pretty sure does qualify as felony charges at this point. So it seems like we should have the power to actually just arrest her outside of office at that point right now. So, like I said, we got Abduli's bitch ass in District 9. Beating out a libertarian, which that dude was never going to win anyway. Or I think that's actually a chick, but who knows? Let me check. Brandy. Yeah, okay, so that was a woman. Okay, yeah, that Brandy one was never going to win that then, if that be the case. So then we got Mark Sigrist taking down District 10, and then Crystal Lott, who I know for a fact is a Bloomberg plant, but she's also one of these so-called victory fund people for all the LGBTQ garbage, what it is there, dude. And yeah, this bitch is a fucking baby-killing, child sterilizer, anti-gun, fucking sack of shit, DYKE. So, and this is actually the one race of all of them that I actually do plan on Article 1, Section 2ing, because I've said I was going to do it to begin with, is what it is there. So pretty much in the coming days, I'll be trying to look into how to do that as what it is there, because this bitch has no business being in power ever in this state or this country. And she is literally the worst person of all the Democrats to be elected into any position of power in this country right now, dude, is what it is. Like, you might as well say this bitch is like every member of the squad combined together, because the rhetoric that she has pushed in the past, that is exactly what it seems like, dude. And all of her radical ass agendas for the leftists at this point is exactly what we're talking about right there. Anyway, continuing on down, then we got District 12, Brian Stewart retained in office. District 13, Democrat Kristen Rader supposed to take office. District 14, Sean Brennan, who was the incumbent, took office again. District 15 went to Democrats for Chris Glassburn. District 16, that fucking cunt Brad Rose Sweeney retained office. District 17 jumped to Republican for Mike Davala. District 18, Juanita Brent retained office. District 19, Phil Robinson retained office. District 20, Terrence Upchurch retained office. I think a lot of these ones were up in the Cleveland area. So again, goes back to the one county, one rep thing. District 21, Eric Seenberg took that office. District 22, Daryl Brewer remained in office. District 23, Daniel Troy remained in office. District 24, known Bloomberg fuckboy Danny Isaac John retained office. This is the douchebag, by the way, who about maybe a year ago now was actually in our state house doing all kinds of shady shit, including basically bitching and moaning about how at that time, while they were doing, I believe it was an appropriations committee of some kind or something, for like money allocated to some, I forget exactly what it was at the time. I don't believe it was gun related at all, for that matter. And yet this motherfucker was trying to like throw in like red flag law, universal background check, bullshit amendments into a completely different issue entirely. And it's like, dude, why don't you fuck off out of our entire state, you fucking cocksucking cunt? Because we all know you're a fucking Bloomberg little bitch patsy is what it is at that point, bro. You're a little fucking puppet of Michael Bloomberg is what it is. And I'm pretty sure, if I'm not mistaken, Danny Isaac John was one of these fucking asshole piece of shit motherfuckers for the Students Demand Action group like several years back now when he was going to college here is what it was. Because I don't believe he's actually from Ohio originally is what it is. I think he's from another state is what it was there. So anyway, then we got piece of shit Cecil Thomas, the asshole who literally jumped ship last time around when he was a state senator and then jumped to the state house, breaking term limits in the process. Got reelected. He's also known as Moms Demand Action cunt too, for that matter. This douchebag is actually the exact reason why our state house is so fucked is what it is right now. Exactly the exact reason why our entire General Assembly is as fucked as it is right now when it comes to anti-gun fuckers right now, because you had piece of shit Cecil Thomas, who for like 20-something years of his career was a Cleveland cop, and I believe he was either a captain or like a sergeant or something like that. He was like one of the high-ass ranks in that fucking thing where he was like up there, but he's just a giant oath-breaking cunt is what it is, dude. And it makes sense, again, why you have so many criminals up there in Cleveland now. It's because pieces of shit like this being the fucking cops there for 20-something years of their lives. Not to mention Cecil Thomas was a little bitch back in 2020 when we had, this is back when you had a little lockdown BS going on and stuff like that, and people still wanted to go to the state house and like have their voices heard and shit like that. And so it was him and his other fuckbag Democrats on that committee that basically put a bunch of chairs together and like kind of like put them on the thing somehow is what it was there. So they had to be like pretty much like pulled back off or something like that's what it was there. And then he got all pissy and moany about people taking a bunch of chairs off there to sit down on them is what it was. And he's like, my daughter has autoimmune disease and she could get sick from this and that. Like, shut the fuck up, old man. If that be the case, your ass should have resigned back in 2020, douchebag. End the fucking story. But no, instead you fucking swiped another seat in the fucking state house 2 years ago, and then you retain that fucking seat this go around somehow. So I'm not sure how this district actually might have been Democrat anyway, but it's like it's just fucking irritating is what it is there, dude. Anyway, continuing on back down, we got District 26 going to incumbent Cedric Denson. District 27 going to incumbent Rachel Baker. This is another one of the Moms Main Action cunts that was in our state house since last go around. And we got Karen Brownlee taking District 28. I know for a fact, and I'll tell you right now, Jen Gurix needs to fucking contest this race, dude, because Karen Brownlee, I know for a fact, is a fucking Moms Demand Action member. Because I talked about this with Chris Dorff from Hog Gunners the other day is what it was. And yeah, this bitch is a known fucking MDA plant. She is a radical fucking terrorist piece of shit in our state house right now is what it is, dude, potentially. And her ass needs to be fucking kicked out of that entire race is what it needs to be. Because she has no business ever even being allowed to swear office because she's already a fucking pre-Oathbreaker at this point is what it is, dude. Like her entire fucking thing is basically grab guns, kill babies, etc. Which should be auto-DQs at this point, honestly, bro. Not to mention the fact her entire race was funded by Bloomberg dark money from out of state is what it was there. So, yeah, it's fucking absolutely sickening is what it is, dude. And I'll say it right now, anybody that voted for her ass needs to lose voting rights forever in this fucking country is what it is then, dude, for real. So. But I would not be surprised if there's voter fraud going on in that fucking race entirely, dude. Which it could just be... It might not be voter fraud specifically, but it might just be like money pouring into the fucking state because of the fact you had Bloomberg in the last like month or so pour in over $50 million to these fucking races for pieces of shit like Karen Brownlee is what it is. So. And then we got Stacey Abrams retaining in District 29. She's a piece of shit rhino. I believe she's also one of the Stevens 22. District 30 is a guy named Mike Odesio, I think is how to pronounce it. District 31 went to incumbent Bill Romer. District 32 was taken down by Jack Daniels, or Jack K. Daniels in this case. Then we got District 33 being an uncontested race for Democrats for Virginia Sims. I believe she took over for somebody else too, because I don't believe she was the incumbent initially, like a year ago. So then we got District 34 going to Derek Hall. Got District 35 going to incumbent Steve Dedemarcu. District 36 going to incumbent Andrea White. District 37 being a contested race for Tom Young. District 38 being for Denise Timms, who is an uncontested race as well. Basically, those two districts should be one at this point, honestly, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see. District 39 went to incumbent Phil Plummer. District 40 went to Rodney Creech, who was the incumbent. District 41 went to Democrat Erica White. District 42 was Elgin Rogers Jr., uncontested race. District 43 went to scumbag incumbent Michelle Grimm, who's another Moms Main Action fucking cunt. By the way, this bitch, after, what was it last year? It was, what was it, 2 years ago now? That's what it was, yeah. It was after Nashville happened back in 2022, I believe is what it was. You had this fucking stupid cunt try to push for universal background checks and red flag laws in the state of Ohio again. And basically push this like whole fucking agenda about like, oh, and this is why Ohio needs to have safe storage laws and all kinds of other stupid bullshit too. And it's like, no, we don't, you fucking dumb cunt. Take your Moms Main Action ass and get the fuck out of Ohio, bitch. We don't want or need your dumb ass here, especially not for our fucking second term is what it is then. So it really is time to clean house and it's time to just kick these fucking Democrats out of office completely is what it is there, dude. With Article 1, Section 2 of the Ohio Constitution. And then we got District 44, Josh Williams retained office. By the way, this is the dude who about a year or so ago basically tried to side with Democrats when it came to creating some bullshit gun thing. And it's only because, from my understanding, they were going to make him basically the dude over it, and he would have got paid like $100,000+ a year for that. So I don't think it went anywhere. I know it's still in our state house some places what it is. I'm not sure if it ever got like hearings or not, but if it didn't, it would have to go through like a bunch of hearings before the end of the year, and I don't think that's going to happen. So that's good. But either way, it was a scumbag plan on his part, though. Then we got District 45, Jennifer Gross retained. District 46, Tom Hall retained. District 47 went to newcomer Diane Mullins. District 48, Scott Ollinger retained, which, by the way, I was thinking about it more and more and more. And when I move, I may actually be moving into Ollinger's district, is what it is there. And I don't know if he's up for re-election. I don't know if this is his third term or his fourth term now in a row in the state house. Because I could either possibly primary him out in 26 if I wanted to go for a state house race, or it could be that race might just be an uncontested race at that point, and I could just get in there as the Republican nominee, period. So it all depends. But anyway, then we got District 49 going to incumbent Jim Thomas. District 50 went to newcomer Matthew Kishman, whose family actually owns a IGA around here. District 51 went to Jody Salvo, which I find it interesting that we have both Jack Daniels and a person whose last name is Salvo as part of our state house now. So you got alcohol and bombs, pretty much, is what it is there. So, yeah, I can help but laugh about that one. Anyway, District 52, Gail Manning retained. District 53, Joe Miller retained. This guy needs to be in Ohio prison, by the way, for a long time now, for the last like 5 or 6 years now, because he's been the one pulling shit since around Dayton. Right after that was when all the Democrats pushed all their anti-gun bullshit back in 2019. And ever since then, that piece of shit, Joe Miller, has been doing rallying calls for a bunch of gun control and stuff like that, is what it is. So, anyway, let's see. Then we got District 54 going to a woman named Kelly Dieter, which I'm not so sure that I don't have ties to that person, because my daughter, or not my daughter, my doctor used to be named Dieter, and I'm not sure if that's his wife or his daughter or somebody like that, but I'll have to find out one of these days. So anyway, then we got District 55 went to Michelle Tessera. District 56, Adam Matthews retained, who I'm pretty sure was actually, I don't believe this guy was an incumbent. I think he was a like somebody else that left to go somewhere, and then he took over for their district, is what it was there. Let's see, we got District 57 going back to Jamie Callender, who is kind of a rhino sack of shit, honestly, when it comes to a lot of stuff. District 58, Lauren McNally, who I know for a fact is an MDA cunt. Got a second reelected thing, there's what it was. District 59 went to Tex Fisher, who, by the way, Tex himself, Al Catrona, was the one that was in place there in that district before Tex. And then Catrona, I believe what happened was Michael Ruley, who was a state senator at the time, you had him win that congressional primary, is what it was, to take over for, I think it was Bill Johnson, who was in Congress before that. And you had Ruley take over for him, then is what it was. And then you had Catrona take over Ruley's seat. And then you had Tex take over Catrona's seat, is what it was. So anyway, I need to go check to see who this is right now. I totally should have left the audio on that one. I'm actually going to go directly to Rumble right now because of that. So.